Good evening, guys. Thank you very much for joining me again. Super grateful. Actually, right on time tonight. Do you believe it? So, I just want to start out and say hello and thank you to all the new subscribers, all the ones that previously subscribed. Way more than I expected. I'm so thankful for that. It's absolutely awesome. My name is Blake. I am the CEO and owner of Mare Genetics, a one-on-one tissue culture education laboratory located in Huntington Beach, California. Our primary purpose is to educate people on how to salvage plants, store plants, meristem tissue culture, nodal culture, plant storage, breeding, and a clean clone program. That's what we do. And a part of the tissue culture process is sterilization. That's what we're here to talk about. Not everybody wants to do TC. And for those who don't, this is an alternative method without doing TC to really get your plants super clean, free from bugs, free from mold, free from problems. Now, if there's an internal problem, fusarium, arthritis, hops, now you're going to have to do meristem, you're going to have to do the medium, the whole process. But for people who don't want to do that, they simply want to learn to clean their plants externally and a little bit internal. The bleach does penetrate a little bit and get inside of the plant. So I think it does have a little bit of systemic effect internally. So really a cool process though. The whole sterilization process, I think, in my opinion, is better than half the crap you buy at some of these. Don't get me wrong, no offense against the hydroponic stores, but I feel like a lot of the stuff's out there just, it's sales pitch shit. I get it, But the stuff I'm going to show you tonight, some of these methods, it's as good as it gets. If you wash your plants before you put them into your garden in this process, it's going to really achieve a huge amount of success compared to the normal traditional way of just washing clean or traditional sprays, etc. Bleach is powerful. It's one of the best things right now going for cannabis as far as eliminating extreme problems, meaning hops and fusarium arthritis. It actually just gets rid of that stuff. So really a cool process though. See behind me here, got some of the products we're going to be working with. Real simple products. The first one being soap. It's an Aquet, A-Q-U-E-T. Don't mind my label here. It's a little bit worn off, but this is simply a detergent that has no colors, no dyes, no weird stuff in it. You can get this on Amazon online. We will offer it for sale eventually. That's not my priority at the moment. But you can get this on Amazon, Aquet, and this is the first step in the washing procedure. Again, you can look this up online, Google, or just Amazon. Most of these places sell this stuff. Amazon. I use Phytotech Laboratories. They're awesome. Some of their stuff can be a little bit expensive, but when you want quality products, Phytotech Labs has amazing stuff. I'm not sure if they sell the soap anymore. But some Tween, you're going to want to have some Tween, a wetting agent. All that simply does, we use that with the bleach. It really helps the bleach to stick to the plant. When you put bleach on a plant, it's almost like water in a duck's back. It rolls off. So when you add a little bit of the Tween, it really allows saturation of the bleach to do its job. So very important function to have that. And then I was using alcohol. Occasionally I still will. There's been some debate upon if it continues the livability, how long hops can live. I'm not really sure, but if you want to use the alcohol, I consider it almost like a rinsing process. After I use the soap, I do a 1 minute alcohol, 70% alcohol solution. And I simply rinse the plants of soap. I simply get it on there and I rinse it off real quick, and I do it in less than a minute. And that's kind of a sterilization, cleaning the soap off process. I found it to be very effective. I stopped doing it after I heard that there may be some correlation of increasing the livelihood of the hops surviving in an alcohol base. So it's up to you. Do your own research on that. I like to use it. I feel like it's an extra process in the sterilization process. Maybe not for hops, but for, if you're just using it for home, especially for PM and bugs and root aphids and broad mites, this stuff's very effective. So the alcohol, two different types. There's isopropyl and there's ethyl. Not sure if you know the difference between the two of them. Look it up. I'm going to tell you, but it's something you really want to know. ISO is a chemical-based synthetic type alcohol, a little bit more harsh, a little bit more for cleaning, more of a sterile process. Ethyl is like wood grain or grain alcohol. So it's more of a consumable alcohol. So in my opinion, if you're going to wash your plants, it's probably better if you're going to use an ethyl, a little bit more softer on the plant, so to speak. I think it's better. Again, in my personal opinion, the beautiful thing about TC is you can use your own judgment and you'll figure it out if you run your plants a few times. But I like it. I like using alcohol. If you don't have ethyl, you can use ISO. I just find that ISO is a little bit more damaging. Be very careful on the amount of time you use with alcohol. It has to be a quick process. Literally, I put the alcohol on the plants right after I dump the soap out. Excuse me, sorry. I dump the soap out after I rinse it for 15 or shake it for 15 minutes on an orbital shaker. I put the alcohol on just as a rinse, and I want to do it in less than a minute. I'm talking like 30 seconds. I'll literally put alcohol in there, shake it, rinse it off, and then as quickly as possible, pay attention to that because you'll burn the shit out of your plants. So a real quick rinse, and then I'll go right to my bleach solution, which is basic. It's a 10% bleach solution, and that's when you're using about 30 milliliters of water. I add a shot glass of bleach, and I add 1 ml of Tween 20. And this sterilization process, it's absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, as far as getting rid of big problems, it's awesome. If you have really bad problems, hops, Fusarium, Botrytis, you're going to have to do meristem. But in the meantime, you can do this process, and it's awesome. So the bleach, like I said, the bleach can be harsh on the plant. So really pay attention to your times. We do 15 minutes. And just by the way, I'm explaining in detail what this means in the whole process because I'm going to upload a video after we're done. And the video is step by step by step. But some people even watching that won't understand the purpose. So I'm giving you the purpose of sterilization right now. So when you do get to watch the video, it's going to give you some more understanding, okay? So don't feel left out if you don't catch the whole process. It's going to be in a step-by-step video coming up. I just want to try to clarify the whole purpose of sterilization because it's really cool. Once you figure this out, you can do this on your plants. I do it now if my plants aren't sick and I just want to ensure clean plants for my mothers. I'll take my cuts as normal. I'll make my solution just like for tissue culture, but I'll wash them 15 minutes in the orbital, rinse them real quick with some alcohol, and then put the bleach on. I usually only do about 10 minutes on the bleach. You got to pay real close attention if your plants are super healthy. If they're not, be vigilant on your time because that little bit of extra time sitting in bleach or not, just too much time in there, well, you'll cook the shit out of them. And it's important that after we're done shaking in bleach for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, you have to take them to the hood after that. You're not going to be using a hood. That's okay. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit because after I had my last video, I've had a lot of people inquire about, the seeds and getting media from me. They want to just purchase media and grow seeds in. And I encourage people to call me. I'm not a real big fan of teaching people how to half-ass stuff. Okay. That's kind of why I'm not a real big fan of the TC kits. Nothing wrong with them. They're great for getting you excited. I think they're personally way super expensive and for what you're getting. You take that money, you can invest in a really good lab for the money you put into a kit. So I just find that it's you really want to just focus, when it comes to sterilization, I feel like when, there's no one size in this, especially, you really want to focus on that first washing process. Again, 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, a real quick rinse of alcohol, bleach for about 10 minutes. But again, I would want to go right to the hood. I like to take mine to the hood. You're not going to have a hood if you're at home. You can do the Bill Graham method, take one of your little cologne domes or something and tip it on its side, spray some alcohol and work underneath it. The reason I don't like to encourage that is because I feel like it's half-ass, and when people are going to do TC, I feel like, you can do that. I'm all for that, but I would prefer to teach you the right way. And that's with a real hood, an autoclave, microscope, the works. If you're going to do it right. That's what I want to teach you. So I'm not a real big fan. Don't mind me on the whole, tipping a hood on its side and all that. So people anyway ask me to send them medium, etc. And I kind of discourage that because I don't want them to fail. Chances are you could have very good success, but it's that 1 or 2 times you put some effort into it. And it's not easy to go through this and put them into culture, into a medium. And then to have them fail, it sucks though. And I don't want to really discourage you. even though the failing process can be a great learning lesson, it is. I'd rather see you do it the right way and have success. It's much more fun. It cuts off a lot of time. And this is all about timing. You know, we don't have time to sit here and spin our wheels. You want to be as effective and efficient as possible. So I can tell people how to do this, you know, at home with the Bill Graham method, tip your hood on the side and all that. But realistically, if you want to do this, save some money and you can get a hood for cheap. You can get small hoods, you can get bench tops, you know, and we're here to help you get that. You know, don't have to spend all kinds of time looking, wondering what to do. Hit me. That's what I like to do. Help people build their labs, get them educated, and move along the process. So the whole sterilization process, get back to, you know, the hood. Get yourself a good hood. I don't really encourage giving people the medium because I'm afraid they're going to get an infection. If something's floating in the air, if your air is slightly dirty, if you're just trying to do this, the chances are it's going to get infected. And it's super discouraging to put in your time and effort and to watch it die. So do yourself a favor. If you're going to do TC, wait. Be patient. There's no hurry. Get yourself a small hood. Get yourself a clean room because your work will become efficient. If you sit there and do all this work and have failure, it sucks. Trust me, that's why I'm a teacher now. No one likes to go through all that. It's a pain in the butt. Take your time, get the right equipment, be patient, do it right, and then your learning experience is going to be so much better, and it's going to be in half the time. It's just much better. So, like I said, we're not going to break down the whole detail right now. I'm going to get into it, you know, a little bit, but we're going to make a video, and it's going to have literally step by step by step. But even people watching the video, I think what I'm talking about right now is going to give people some clarity on the purpose of sterilization. It's helpful to have, again, we're talking about equipment, little beakers. Yeah, you can use stuff from the kitchen, but measurement beakers, simple measurement beakers to allow you to take your measurements for your bleach and your stuff. These little bottles make it super nice to do your shaking, and many different options with these bottles, but cheap on YouTube or eBay. I'm drawing a blank. You know, Jeff Bezos, come on. Sterile water, another critical part of the process. And sterile water, to me, is a vital part of it. I think the whole sterile water part is huge because what that does is it doesn't have any pathogens, no bacteria. And a lot of times, especially when I'm seed popping, anything, if there's any type of external crap in the water, it affects the plant. So sterile water is huge. And all sterile water is distilled water that's been autoclaved for 20 minutes. But for washing the plants in tissue culture, once they're done being bleached, we put them into the hood, and then I rinse them 5 times with sterile water, eliminating all that, you know, residual bleach and soap and all this stuff. So 5 rinses under the hood. And now at that point, I'm able to do either clone those pieces if I want to, or they're ready to go into the meristem or nodal process. So it's really cool. But for regular clones, you just got to be aware when you're doing a bigger clone, and I'm washing them, and I just use this little box right here. I slap on, I can put 50 to 100 clones in here. I'll make my solution. I usually make about 300 mils of water, sterile water. I'll add 10% bleach, which is, and 30 mils of water, it's a shot glass of bleach. Throw a shot glass of bleach into 30 mils of water. That's your bleach solution. On top of that, the eyedropper, 1 mil of Tween 20. 1 mil of Tween 20 into your 300 mils of sterile water with 1 shot glass of bleach. Bam. That's super effective. Better than anything you can buy anywhere. Honestly, anything you can buy isn't as potent as that. So for cleaning, sterilization purposes, it's awesome. The soap, again, this process is pretty basic. The soap is just an elimination of debris, dirt, and contaminants to go into the next stage. I like the alcohol to rinse off. Don't have to if you don't want to. Do your own research. Once the alcohol's done, go right to the bleach. In about 10 minutes on the orbital shaker. I know you guys have all seen the video of the orbital shaker. Really cool thing. And now that's the sterilization process for tissue culture. So to be able to take your plants and wash them with the same solution, I do 15 minutes in the soap, take them out, alcohol, just a real quick bounce a couple times, rinse that off. Or not rinse, I just dump it out. I put my bleach solution right on, 10 minutes. And then after that, rinse it 5 times with some sterile water if you have it. If not, distilled water is fine. But give them a rinse. Be vigilant of the times you're soaking your plants. Don't let the soap, not a big deal. Alcohol, pay attention. Bleach, pay attention. No longer than a minute on the alcohol, no longer than 15 minutes on the bleach. I recommend about 10 because by the time you take it off and rinse it a few times, it's going to be 4 or 5 minutes. And you just want to count that whole time. Once you put the bleach on till the time you take it off, it's really important you pay attention to that. You don't want to cook your shit. And if the plants are sick, be even more vigilant because it'll really burn the crap out of, like, especially if your plant's got virus or problems, you're going to see it. So hopefully that explains that a little bit. My coffee, grateful, because I'm super grateful to have this platform to share with you guys. It's super awesome that we can actually have a platform now to share stuff. I believe in serving. So that's what I'm here doing. People, why am I doing this? I'm serving people because a lot of people want to know how to do this. A lot of people don't have the funds or the time. I get that. Down the road, when people decide they want to get into tissue culture, I want them to call me for answers. So I'm providing information, the latest technology that I have. I want to share it. The more I can communicate and have a platform to serve and share, the better. An update. Again, everybody who's now watching us for the first time and subscribed, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. The support's been overwhelming. Super grateful. Beans. We're still stocked on beans. It's been a little bit of a slow process because I didn't expect to have so many people. Thank goodness. But the beans are going out. I already had the first run go out, and I've got more going out. Be patient. I think people are going to be excited to see what they get. Little gift in there for the first people who signed up. But I'm excited for the genetics to get out. I want to see what people can do. And again, I think that's an opportunity to hopefully inspire you to, if you decide to get into tissue culture. If not, again, it's not for everybody. I'm finding that, we are teaching a lot of people now that are in the big cultivations because they have obviously so much to lose. But I keep wanting to go back to the small guys, the craft guys. I value the craft guys so much because I came from craft. I came from small. I came from the Phototron. So I appreciate people who, want to really focus on quality. Again, I understand times are a little tough right now for people, but it's going to come around. And when you're prepared and educated and you've got your genetics stored and it does come back, take advantage of that. I think it's a good time for that. So the sterilization, the whole point of it is to eliminate some, powdery mold, hops. Definitely not hops, excuse me. Hops is the only one we don't eliminate. PM, broad mites. Those are just a pain in the ass. Broad mites, root aphids. This is huge. This is one of the most effective ways to eliminate. I get me 2 little bottles here. You can get offline or get anywhere you want. One's for soap, one's for bleach. I fill them up. Take my pieces. When I'm taking the pieces, again, I'm going to make a video, so I'll break it down more. But when I'm taking the pieces, I usually want to end up with about a 1-inch piece of plant material, And you can break it down pretty far. We don't have to have a lot of leaf material. I like to start maybe with about 1.5 inches because after it goes through the bleaching process, it's going to have some bleached ends and I may want to clean up a little bit. So ideally about a 1-inch piece for me. This is for tissue culture. I think even small pieces like that for doing clones, if you're not doing TC, it's perfect. But if you're going to do a regular 3-inch clone, just be aware it's going to be floppy. So after I do it, I put them in a paper towel, damp them off, and I kind of let them sit there and air dry for a minute. After they dry, I do a little rough trim, recut the bottom base, and do my normal cloning. And it works killer. Have very good luck with that. But again, if the plants are a little bit sick or they're a little bit off, be aware because this process will burn them. Go lighter, if anything. If it's a problem, you can always back off on the timing, back off on the alcohol, back off on the strength of the solution. Use 15 mils, half a shot glass instead of 30. Little things like that. Just pay attention, experiment. You're going to mess up. It happens. But the way we learn is through experimentation. Just keep trying it. This is a very effective way to get rid of most of the problems that people are having right now. And they go out and spend tons of money on crap that usually doesn't work. If anything, it does burn the shit out of their plants. You got everything here to burn your plants. Kidding. Everything here to be as effective without burning. Just pay attention. And you can always hit me up and ask questions. I'm happy to help. So the sterilization process, yes, you don't have to have the sterile water. You can use distilled. You don't, those things aren't vital. You don't have to have the hood. If my plants are clean, I'm having great luck washing them like this. And I do this usually if I'm shipping plants. I want to wash them because I just want to make sure most plants out of TC are still susceptible, actually more so because of their bubble boy. They've been in a container. So just out of precaution, I will wash stuff, and had very good success with it. It's worked very good for us, and I hope this works good for you guys. Again, you can find the soap, Aket, find that online, Amazon, the Tween 20, Amazon, bleach, standard bleach. Don't use the splash. It's got to be none of that splash. Regular bleach, no splash proof, none of that business. You don't want the splashy stuff. That's shit. So no splash stuff. And again, the tool is real basic. I find this little thing right here super effective. This little screen right here, because after I'm done shaking my plants in the orbital shaker, I can take this thing right here and rinse my liquid super fast without dumping my plants out. Now, if you're doing, again, plants, get yourself a nice little container like this, make your bleach solution, make your soap, have your alcohol ready, do that process, do regular cuts, works phenomenal. I, again, have had very good success doing this. Give it a shot. I think it's something, if it hopefully helps you guys out, it'll encourage you later on, you know, to possibly take a little bit farther with TC. Like I said, I feel like, you know, a lot of people out there, they're fortunate. They started seeds. They're doing good. They don't need it. But if you have the inkling, you can tell now. You can pretty much tell. I think people, if they've been gardening long enough, they can look at a plant. They can sense when something's wrong. In 9 times out of 10, it does have something wrong with it. The beautiful part about TC, it's not just this part. The sterilization is huge. But the medium itself, we're going to have another talk next week on the medium, but the medium itself is a sterilizer. It's a cleanser. Because it's so fertile, it acts like a sponge. It pulls intercellular contaminants from within the cell walls of the plant. It's really fascinating. You know, I didn't understand that. You don't understand that until you put the plants in and they leak all this crazy stuff, and you see, you know, why is that happening? And it's literally because the medium's so fertile that anything intercellular into that plant, Fusarium, Bothriotis, any kind of cellular endophytes will come out, and they'll grow pink, blue, yellow, orange, red. It's the craziest shit ever. Again, that inspired my pathology because I want to know what it is. But it's a cleaning mechanism. So that's the beautiful part about TCs. You have not just the sterilization part, but now you've got the medium itself, and the medium is magic. Like I said, that's the whole, to me, it's the secret sauce. Because once you understand the chemistry, not only does that, you know, apply to growing plants inside test tubes and creating, you know, magic protocols, but fascinatingly, you can make solutions to add to your nutrient solutions to create super plants. And endless possibilities. Like I said, so much fun to be able to sterilize, just like you're in a lab. Works great, but you really want to take it to the next level. You sterilize and then run them through culture, and that medium just cleans everything out of them, especially at 6 months to a year, cutting them so small. That's the point. By eliminating the body tends to contain the majority of the infection, the pathogens. You can basically eliminate and outrun virus by cutting the meristem off. Regrowing it in a sterile medium over time, and the longer it's in that medium, it just pulls all the crap out. And I witnessed this. Like I said, when I first started this, I didn't believe in the process, but after I did it and ran it, it was like, holy crap, it's really phenomenal to see a plant that's, you know, has had problems that come out and then produce seed rate growth with just the structure and compactness and terpenes, flavors that honestly, I think was better than when it started. It's an incredible process. So you can do lots of cool stuff without being in a TC, but honestly, especially, you know, in a business atmosphere now, or even for the craft guys, the big guys, doesn't matter. This really just allows you to be ultra efficient by being sterile, cutting out, you know, eliminating bugs and molds, 99% of the problems, but even more so by putting it into a sterile medium, growing that meristem. Now you've eliminated all possibilities. And then it's real simple to do tests after you're done. You can simply take that whole plant in a test tube, send it out, and get it tested. And if anything was taken from that same plant comes tested, it's easy to, if one's sick, they're all sick. So it's really a cool process. So here's right here some plants that are in culture, way overdue to be taken out and broken into lots of pieces. This right here is my mother room now. This is how we store mothers. It's phenomenal. No vectors, no virus, no problems. It's yellow because it's 100% humidity in there. And they're, it's not the ideal food. The beauty is you can create your own protocol to make it better, but this is your killer. I can take regular clones out of this, or I can turn this into about 500 pieces and regrow the whole thing. So it's awesome. And then we got some nice little test tube plants here, just hanging out, waiting for me. I get to go on vacation or holidays and my stuff don't die. It's phenomenal. So yes, there's lots of things we can do, like sterilize our plants with basic household stuff and have phenomenal success. But if you've got favorite cultivars, favorite strains, and you think they're having issues, there's nothing better than running into that medium. So that's something, consider in the future. We do also fix plants, but like I tell people, I would rather teach you the process to do it yourself, because no one looks out better for you than you. No one's going to give you a better deal than you. So we like to teach the process. It allows you to keep all your genetics in-house without giving your stuff out. It gives you full control. And like I said, I want to encourage you to learn. When you encourage people to learn and create their own solutions and their own ideas, I tell you what, it's really a powerful thing. So I hope that sterilization process is door opening for you. I hope it helps you. Give it a shot. Like I said, don't be afraid to experiment and mess up a little bit. This is how you learn. It's just to do it quickly. But I feel like this is something, like I said, it'll open the door, and if people start to do this, it's like, well, why not take it a little farther? Why not really get into learning and understand the concepts of TC? Because now you can store your plants for long-term. It's cheap, it's efficient. The lights that require to do this are simple LED lights. You don't have those crazy electric bills and heating and cooling. It's very minimal as comparison. And again, the medium is sugar and water, nothing more inexpensive. So it's phenomenal, the efficiency, not only in cost, but you increase performance, you cut loss. It's like everything's testable, and it can all be done in a very small area. So now you have full control. And when you have full control, there's no excuses. There's no excuses for problems. Everything can be literally managed super easy. It gives me freedom, gives me time. So this is why it's such a pleasure. I get to do what I love to do and teach people this process. It's about 5 G's to fix a plant, which is crazy. If you ask me, it's like just grow some seeds, start over. But some people have strains that they're extremely valuable. They've had them for a long time. They want to keep them around. I get that. TC is invaluable for that. You think about it. If you have 50, 40, 50, 100 strains, that's, if you pay $5,000, even 2,500, it's a crazy amount of money. Learn to do this yourself. Learn to preserve genetics and preserve and have a clone program, if not for yourself, for other people. Learn to preserve genetics and prevent them from getting sick and having problems. That's, like I said, I feel like people have an opportunity to salvage the industry because stuff's watered down. We can all agree on that, I believe. Overbred, crossbred, breeding with stuff that was no doubt sick. So people that take old seeds, they're hard to pop, grow them in culture, prevent them from getting vectored, sick, contaminated, and preserve these genetics for long term. That's valuable. That's valuable. Providing value in today's world is what makes you successful. So what value can you provide? If you've got seeds, if you've got grow skills, awesome. Improve on them. Become better. Formulate solutions that make these plants grow like you've never seen before, and actually become excited about something when you see it so successful. One of the funnest things, again, I ever got to witness is watching a plant go from shit to healthy, fruitful, crazy terps. A lot of fun. And again, now I can keep them stored and preserved for long periods. No watering, no spraying. I can take them out if they're rooted, but if I don't want to, that's the beautiful part. I can walk away for literally months and leave my stuff and it won't die, even if the power goes out. Awesome concept. Again, I like to ramble a little bit. The whole point of this video was sterilization, and we're kind of breaking that down. The whole purpose of sterilization to clean plants of external problems, but a little bit of internal. PM, some people say it's can be inside of the plant, systemic. I think with the Bleach and the Tween 20, it allows a little bit of permeation and penetration, especially of a very small piece of plant. The regular clone, it's even still in the cell walls. I believe it's going to get in a little bit, but to really get inside the cell walls of the plant, it's going to be a meristem, super fine excision, very precise under a microscope, placed very gently in a precise medium, grown slowly in a precise environment over time, and then tested vigorously after the process. Because we've had stuff go through testing and they've popped back up. There's no doubt. My peanut butter recently had an issue. I ran it, tested it, no problems. Someone else happened to run it and test it, had an issue. So it's not to say that it doesn't happen. It very much can happen. But now the whole point is you have the ability to test and prevent it from spreading. If that would have been a normal garden, hell, I would have spread it probably amongst everything and been back in the same boat as everybody else, spreading shit around. But because it was in test tubes, thank God, we don't have a problem. But regular testing is encouraged now. Tween Genetics, check them out. Tween Genetics, $25 a test. Send your whole plant there. If you're not testing the roots, you're getting a bullshit test. Okay, so the sterilization process, soap, 15 minutes. Alcohol, 1 minute or less, pay attention. Bleach, 10 minutes about. In the bleach solution, again, the 10% bleach, you can use this in a spray to sterilize your hands, your tools. Contact time is critical for bleach, meaning you want to have it in there for at least a minute, anything. So make your 10%, 300 mils of solution right there, 300 mils of hopefully some sterile water, 1 shot glass of bleach, 1 mil of Tween 20. That's your bleach solution. That's sterilization. That's washing plants. That's cleaning tools. That's spraying down any kind of area. Very effective against the spreading and contamination of Fusarium hops, Lepraeus. But really, what's the best to keep them from spreading and getting sick is having them in test tubes. $5,000 to fix a strain, or $7,500 to fix it yourself. And now you can fix every strain. Not only that, you can help other people. You can fix their strains. You can offer the same service from meristem excisions to help other people, teach other people, plant storage, clean clone program. It's phenomenal, mainly for your own grow, just to stop the spread and be very sterile and efficient, save money, increase performance, save strains forever and ever and ever. The breeding potential. But, like I said, now you have the potential to really stop loss of a lot of the old strains from sickness being spread everywhere. This stops the spread straight up. Not everybody. Most people I hear, from they're like, hey, I don't need it. I've been this long, no problems. Awesome. I fucking love that for you. That's so cool. You haven't had the problem. But for the people who have, insurance would have been great, right? Always after the fact. Well, that's all TC is. TC is an insurance policy because now you can store, save, prevent. I'm a prime example. Our lab went through a fire and a flood. All my strains made it through unscathed. In a regular situation, I'd have been shut of luck, stressing, start over. Time, 6 months to a year to get back in that swing again. This was like 4 weeks, bring it out of the tube, start over again. There was really no loss. It was just not having the lab for a bit, but get my point. It's an insurance policy and a cheap one at that in comparison, to the long run, what you're losing, what happens to your grows. This can be done in a very small area. Most people have the concept, but they can't do it. It's out of their range. I'm telling you right now. It's for people who are serious cultivators, not even for large scale. Just want to preserve genetics, who want to preserve strains from, getting sick. Because in future, again, people who almost like the unvaxxed people, we need some seeds that are unaffected. If they're unaffected, they're probably going to be some really good old school stuff that we can continue future breeding with and change the game. Come up with fire stuff. And everybody knows right now what's important is fire gear. I apologize. I've been not looking at the chat. Last time I kept looking and squinting, focusing on the chat. Now I just been kind of going for the video because whatever I miss, we'll go back. You can watch it again. I'll hit you up in the chat and respond. Anybody has any questions, I recommend hit the chat. I respond to those and I'll get back to you ASAP. So yeah, the whole point of what we teach here is to show people that, you can do this. It's possible to do simple sterilization at home. But mainly when you decide you want to take class and you don't want to dick around, you're looking for someone to really get you past those humps and quit messing around. We have a legitimate laboratory. It used to be Quest Blood Lab in Huntington Beach. It's beautiful. Allows us complete separation of every room for sterilization purposes. And we provide scrubs and food. It's awesome. It's a one-on-one setting in a class to come and learn. And you get your game on. That's a fun 2 days, but it really happens. The beauty of this class is after we shove your brain full of stuff for 2 days, you go back and get your own lab going, and then you have us on your team for a 6-month follow-up program, and we'll go longer if necessary. It's usually not necessary. Most people gasp onto it. They're moving along. They don't need me. But we want you to be a part of the group forever, part of our mastermind group, so we can share future information. The whole point of my mastermind group that we started is to share. I don't want to be a gatekeeper. I want people who intellectually want to learn more, not only just to grow their garden, but to grow their brain, their business, their family, their relationships. And sometimes it takes a community to do that. And I feel like this platform allows me that opportunity. I feel like I've been doing this for so long, since I was 14. I'm almost 52. Excuse me, I'm almost 53. So I want to share, and this platform allows me to do that. It allows us to share really cool information about tissue culture and the concepts and practices, etc. I feel like what we teach transcends cannabis, although the cannabis seems to be the main market, for what we do, financially based, I guess, because it's so profitable for some people, I guess. But again, I want to go back to the craft guys. I want the craft guys to figure this out. And I understand it's not always financially feasible, but is failing, is getting sick plants feasible? Is, not being able to ever take a break and go on vacation? Is that feasible? No. So when you're ready, hit us up. You can hit me directly. You can hit Miss Pacalolo. I think she's got a new one called Tissue Culture Queen. She handles all the financial stuff. I'm just the teacher. But I'm excited to be able to have an opportunity to get, people sterilizing their plants, get the process going, learn what it's all about, and then knowing that you can take it farther with the medium and really break it down. It's awesome. When you take that medium now, you went through this sterilization process now, but when you take the medium and you really start to pull all the intercellular contaminants from the plant, that's when you see that genetic drift, that loss. When people say reset a plant, that's what they're talking about. It's getting it back to seed rate growth by eliminating intercellular pathogens in the plant. Hops, Fusarium, Botrytis, they regrow again. And not only do they regrow again, but they regrow better because of the hormones. So the structure of the plant will be twice as dominant in half the time. You end up with little super structured plants. So I can go, instead of 2 months veg, I can hit a 1 month veg and flower it, and it's going to flower and then be, it's got a much sturdier stem, much more significant branching. So it's really a cool thing. So yeah, there's tons of benefits. It's awesome. And I know I'm blowing smoke for TC, but it's been extremely successful for us. I'm enjoying the process. Here's some seedlings right here I have that are overgrown a little bit. I got to take these out. They've been stretching out a bit, but awesome. Again, I can have seeds continually popping without worrying about them getting too tall, getting too big, touching, contaminating, causing a problem. They sit there and wait for me to take them out and begin the process. Here's another one I just got to show you real quick. This is one that I've had a client for almost 2 years. I know he's just dying. He thought we were going to burn him or not follow through, but this one took forever. This guy's out of Washington, and this sucker is just looking good. You can see it. It's just now starting to turn really nice and green. These were meristems, and it took forever. It was taking freaking forever, but it's doing good now. And I'm super excited because the client's going to finally get his plant back. I'm just waiting for pathology to make sure it's good to go. And then we're going to harden that thing off, and off she goes. Phenomenal process. So real quick, I want to just share something real quick here. Opportunity, all these people watching, all the new subscribers, all the new followers, thank you so much. I'm going to be creating awesome content coming up. I'm going to get down to everything from the media, from the meristem. We're going to go through pretty much everything. I'm not afraid to share the information because some people will take it and learn, but people who are serious, they'll come to class no matter what, because you need that experience, that one-on-one. You really want to touch, feel, smell, hear everything, the process. You want to be in a lab setting, learn it. Let me fire you up, show you all the processes, hands-on, and then go home. It's when you're home in your own lab, stuff's going to come up. And when you can get me on the phone and we can get you bypassed and get you moving along, that's the fun part. Super exciting. So bear with me. I'm super grateful for my business. I love that I work from home, that I make my own schedule, and that I make good money. I'm very grateful for that. And I'm sharing that with you because I feel like if people learn the same thing or learn some of this stuff and improve themselves, you can be grateful. Even in a crazy time, in a crazy place, crazy world. I'm especially grateful for my mother. Everything that she did for me and allowed me to follow my dreams and my passion, always loving and always supportive. Gave me every opportunity, bought me a Phototron. And every time I look back at that, I think, man, that's the craziest thing ever. She bought me a Phototron. I think, man, would I do that for my kid? I don't know. Looking back, I probably wouldn't have. Say the same, I may not have done that. But literally, it changed me. It literally allowed me to do what I love to do. So I'm super grateful for my mother. And I'm really grateful for my health. It gives me an escape from stress. and allows me to regenerate and have energy that gets me going and gets me through. That's a huge part of it. 6 Habits of Growth. Brendan Bouchard, check it out. I mentioned it on the last talk, and I just mention it because it's been so successful for me. It's helped me tremendously to get in front of you guys. This is part of my goals, to share not only growing tips, but growing personally with some goals and some achievements. I don't know how long I've been going here. Let me look at mine real quick. Fila, I'll get you Fila scrubs if you want. Yeah, it's all good. That's funny. See what size you are. I have to go with Fila because the other ones didn't fit me. It's such a meathead that I didn't fit into the regular scrubs. So definitely set you up with some good ones though. Got some good food. Like I said, mainly the knowledge. We get to sit down and it's at your pace, ask questions, and really find out about you and really make the class specifically geared towards your learning process. This isn't a group setting. I don't like the group setting, people hovering over. Sometimes it's uncomfortable in the microscope, making many people want to be, themselves. And I feel like the individual one-on-one or 2 people, 2 growers, head grower, lead growers, whatever. It just allows us to really focus and pay attention, and to make sure that you get it and understand deeply what we're trying to convey. And I feel like the group setting kind of poo-poos on that. Individual attention, we focus on every single aspect, and then get to focus on the meristems, the media, the sterilization part. We sit down, we watch a few videos, and we discuss the cytokines and auxins. Really vital part of the stuff. Like I said, all this stuff is available online to learn yourself. You can, but a lot of the stuff will take 1 to 2 years, failures and questions, and you want someone to have help, and that's what we're here for. This is why I'm doing the videos. I'm sharing information. So when people decide they want to come to class, if they do, if they don't, hey, that's great. Watch the videos, save your own plants, prevent the spread of crap. But I'm really, really focused on teaching people to stop the spread. That's my mission. I've been doing this for a long time. The industry's been very good to me. I want to give back. And by giving back, I mean, I want to serve you and I want you to be able to serve others. And by serving others, you can do that. There's lots of opportunity in this crazy world right now to serve other people. Don't worry so much about self. We're all so self-absorbed in our phones and our business. Help other people. Help other people succeed. And when that one person you help comes through and asks for your help or changes everything, you'd be surprised. It's really a cool thing. It's a lot of fun. Again, hope I didn't veer off too far. The topic was sterilization. I'm going to make a video that's got step-by-step details in it. You can watch this again once I post the new video coming up. You better go look at that, and it'll give detailed instructions on the measurements and the process. So when you decide to do that, you can watch the video, and hopefully it'll guide you along in making some clean, healthy, sterile plants, getting rid of the problems, because gardening's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun when we're not battling crap, bugs and virus and all that stuff. It sucks. It takes the fun out of gardening. It makes us stress. There's already enough stuff in life that we stress upon. When you gain control in tissue culture, it just frees up that part so you can go think, gain more knowledge, learn something else. The lab, once you invest in a lab, these things are really autopilot. You can spend 2 to 4 hours a week. You can spend minimal if you want. I mean, you can work every day if you want to, if you're trying to get numbers and trying to get something going. But if you're just trying to preserve genetics, it's really, once you're at a certain point, it's set it and forget it. That's freedom. Who's had freedom in cannabis? I don't know many people in this industry that have had freedom. It's very hard to be free. If there's freedom, it's because you're not involved. So hit us up on email, hit us up on the Instagram, our website, merigenetics.com, and we'd like to answer questions. Grateful for the opportunity. Be patient with everybody, please. I'm grateful the beans are going out. They're coming. I promise you. I hope you're excited to see what you got with it. Any questions in the meantime, hit me. Again, grateful, super grateful. I'll repost this. Stay tuned for the video, step-by-step instructions. Hopefully it's been helpful to you. I appreciate the opportunity. I don't think I missed anything on the chats. Awesome, guys. Appreciate it.